Hi friends, today I'm going to attempt to de-influence you from buying yet another pointless supplement. Because right now, everybody and their mother is trying to push a new supplement, a new thing that's going to address all of your health concerns. And if you go anywhere on the internet and search for a health issue that you might be experiencing, I guarantee you within like 2 hours, you'll start getting ads for some kind of a supplement that, quote, addresses the issue. My goal is to get you to think through the next time you go to purchase a new supplement or even reflect on the supplements you're currently taking to see if they are serving you. My name is Maria. I'm a personal trainer and a health coach, and what supplements should I take is one of the most common questions that I get asked. Things like, what are your thoughts on this greens powder? What's the best protein powder? Should I take insert the latest trending supplement here? Is it going to help me lose weight? I'm here to tell you that 95+% of supplements that are out there are complete garbage and you don't need them. Most of it is expensive pee that promises you quick results. And quick results don't typically stick around or are actually not achievable. The problem is that the supplement industry is highly unregulated and lacks strict oversight. And globally, it is a $200 billion industry, and it's growing like exponentially. So let's kind of like first chat about what supplements are supposed to do. Well, no shit, it's in the name. They're supposed to supplement nutritional deficiencies or nutritional gaps, or give us some kind of an edge or a boost in performance. They're not meant to replace healthy habits, eating whole nutrient-dense foods, eating real food, and doing all the things that we inherently know we need to do for our health. And to find out if you have some kind of a nutritional deficiency or a vitamin deficiency, a clinical physician, a doctor, a nurse practitioner, somebody should be able to assess you for your symptoms and then follow up with blood work if needed, and then advise you if you need to take a supplement. And I'm pretty crunchy, okay? The Western medicine has failed me many times, so I'm not a huge fan of it either. I also understand there are really well-meaning doctors and practitioners that are working within an algorithmic type of environment, a business-centric environment, but guess what? The supplement industry, it's also a business. And what I'm seeing a lot right now is a lot of fear about medications and Western medicine and an abundance of trust in supplements. And I don't think neither one is necessarily good, because again, it's a business and they all have their place. They all do wonderful things. So I'm not dogging on one or the other. Both have their place and they can coexist together. Again, my issue is really more in the realm of that it's an unregulated industry. The supplement industry is very unregulated, and companies, manufacturers take advantage of this and try to capitalize on people not feeling well by promising them results and relief from what they're experiencing. So just to speak on like how unregulated it is, I can go and just willy-nilly create my own supplement line like today if I wanted to, if I had enough money to throw at it. As long as this says, this statement has not been evaluated by Food and Drug Administration, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease, but on the label I can say liver detox, heart support, weight loss management. And I think that implies that this thing is going to address the issue that I'm looking to solve in one way or another. Some organizations like consumerlabs.org and NSF and USP, they do third-party testing, and they frequently find that what's on the label doesn't actually matches what's in the actual supplement. Everything from missing ingredients to many products containing only a fraction of the active ingredient that it claims to have. As an example, some herbal supplements have been found to contain mostly like rice flour and even like ground up houseplants. And that's probably like best case scenario. The worst case scenario is contaminants like heavy metals, arsenic, lead, cadmium. And this has been found especially in protein powders and like root-based herbal supplements like turmeric and ginseng. And worst case scenario is illegal adulteration of the supplements, where sketchy manufacturers will just pump up their products with banned substances, unlisted stimulants, or even pharmaceutical grade like weight loss drugs, promising people results, and those can have really negative consequences on our health. And it's all in the efforts of making the supplement more effective. Another note is that some supplements, the delivery method, like the capsules or the pills they come in, they're so compressed, they don't actually dissolve in your stomach. So it's like they take a little ride through your GI tract and you just like pee it out or poop it out. And gummy versions of supplements have consistently been found to have lower nutrient density because the way that the gummy's made, it's being heated, it degrades a lot of the vitamins and whatever nutrients that it claims to have, and it contains unnecessary sugar. We don't need any extra added sugar, especially from something that's supposed to give us health. So if you're supplementing with the gummy currently and you take anything out of this video, switch to a pill, gel, capsule, or liquid form. Lastly, supplements can have contraindications for certain health conditions and interactions with medications. As an example, St. John's wort, which is supposed to be an herbal medicine that's been used for an iota for like mild depressive symptoms, it cannot be taken with an SSRI or MAOI or any other antidepressant type of medication because it can cause serotonin syndrome. That can be almost deadly. Like in the very severe side of things, they can cause like seizures. And if you're on medication like warfarin, taking vitamin K or fish oil, which naturally kind of thins the blood, the combination of those can result in bleeding risk. And some supplements or herbs do make certain medications less effective, like contraceptives and depression medication, which a lot of people are on. There could also be an allergic or an inflammatory component by taking the supplement. The one example that I always love to give is ashwagandha, right? Ashwagandha is in like everything. It's an adaptogen. It's supposed to help with like a slew of health concerns. However, if you're somebody that has an autoimmune condition, especially something like rheumatoid arthritis, and you're sensitive to foods that are nightshades like tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, white potatoes, etc., and you don't know that ashwagandha is a nightshade and you're still experiencing symptoms even though you're eating really healthy and appropriate diet for you and your condition, then, you know, if you never learned that ashwagandha is a nightshade, it doesn't say it anywhere on the bottle, you know, you could be sabotaging your health outcomes. So without a specific targeted need, most supplements are, I mean, at best, a waste of money. At worst, could be a risk to your health. And I would especially be wary of anything being pushed by influencers, celebrities, even athletes and like podcast doctors. These people are paid. They're incentivized to sell you a supplement. They get a kickback. I might get some flack for this, but like as being somebody that's in the health and wellness space, a trainer and a health coach, it's so outside of my scope to recommend a supplement. So if your coach or your trainer is like, you need this supplement, here's a link to buy it, they probably are getting some kind of a kickback for it. And I'm not like dogging on people for doing that. It's like a source of income for people. But also, I feel like it can be irresponsible to do that without letting somebody know, like, you need to contact your physician first. You need to test, you need to ask, like, do I actually need this thing for my health? If you're cautious about Western medicine, girl, I get you. I'm in the same boat. I've been burned by Western medicine. I've also been burned by holistic space as well. However, applying the same level of scrutiny to an influencer, a podcaster, an athlete, an author, a blogger, as you would to the established medical community is crucial. Most people that are pushing a supplement, these people don't have your best interest in mind. They're trying to make a sale. It is a business. It sucks. It sucks. But once you kind of like realize that and run it through the BS meter, you know, you stop spending money on a bunch of junk you don't need. And with all that said, there is a time and a place for supplements and herbal remedies and natural modalities of addressing an issue. I'm all about that. Just like there are also times when being prescribed a medication it's like life-saving. So I'm not dogging on all supplements at all. I take supplements. They're an important part of my healthy lifestyle. My concern is with the pushy, predatory marketing and sketchy manufacturing practices that some companies have. When a client asks me about a supplement, or when I'm considering, for whatever reason, taking a new supplement, I generally like to walk myself through these 4 questions. And the first question is, what problem am I trying to solve here? Like, what am I trying to achieve or gain by taking this supplement? What is the perceived benefit of taking this supplement? Is it more energy? Is it weight loss? Is it performance? If those are the things, then I move on to question 2. But if it's not, we can end right there, because sometimes the answer is simple. The answer is, I've just seen way too many ads for this thing. I don't actually need it. The end. The second follow-up question is there actually evidence that this supplement works for this thing or this issue? As an example, supplements like creatine or magnesium, there's like an abundance of studies on those supplements and their efficacy and their safety, to where it's like, okay, maybe it's worth considering. However, something like a greens powder or some blend of adaptogens that has never been studied in a controlled environment, in a person, taking certain kinds of medications, having a certain lifestyle, certain genes and gene mutations, like we just don't have the data on all the things. And if there is data on some of that stuff, it's usually like internally created, like the company did the study themselves, and it's not validated by a third-party organization or lab. Some of those results are just like dubious at best. They're not great. Third question is, okay, who is selling this? Like, who is selling this to me? Is it an influencer? Is it Susie in HR? Do they get a kickback for this? What's the incentive of like the person selling me the thing? Do they have my best interest in mind? Do they know my health history and my conditions? How do they know that this is actually going to work for me? And also, does the marketing feel predatory? Like, have I expressed that I'm looking to boost performance or lose weight or address hypertension, whatever? If only then, whoever it is, they're like, oh, I have a solution for that, and it's a supplement, and by the way, use my code. To me, that's like a major red flag to run away. And fourth, going back to question number 1, what problem am I trying to solve? What results am I looking to achieve? Have I tried a lifestyle modification approach or a food-first approach to solve that issue or to gain this benefit? Can I get this vitamin or mineral through food? Like, that's a quick Google search. Like, what foods contain iron or vitamin C? And maybe instead of taking a supplement that promises to give you more energy with like 9 whys at the end. Maybe the answer is to look at our sleep hygiene and see if we just need to get like better quality sleep. Just an extra 30 minutes, an hour, whatever. And maybe that's the thing that we need to do to give us more energy. So in general, most people do not need hyper-specialized supplements. Instead, aiming for a well-rounded, whole nutrient-dense diet that's basically a dietary pattern where you're eating good quality proteins, you're eating veggies, eating healthy fats, you're staying within like a healthy caloric balance, you're moving throughout the day, throughout the week. The really hard pill to swallow for a lot of folks is that it just takes intention, effort, and consistency with healthy lifestyle changes to address most of the issues that they're experiencing. Sleeping well, drinking enough water, having good boundaries and relationships, and you have creative outlets. That stuff it sounds easy, but I understand because I work with behavior change. That's like my jam. This is the hardest stuff to implement. And I also know that no supplement can do what all of those things that I just mentioned do for your body. And of course, if you have a specific concern or symptom that you're experiencing, checking in with your doctor to see if there is a deficiency is really, really important. They'll get your history, they'll get your symptoms, maybe they'll do blood work, and then if needed, come up with a plan to get you feeling better. And it's not lost on me that the American healthcare system is so screwed up and that a lot of people do not have access to even getting in with a physician and to address their symptoms or do basic blood work. The only solution here that I can offer is to really lean in on those lifestyle modifications, choosing 1 to 2 things that are within your control. It might be just doing a little bit of mobility and stretching in your living room. It might be adding in 1 serving of veggies to your day. It might be just rethinking like where's my money going, and can I allocate some of that toward eating better quality food. Also, I think that the supplement industry is predatory for folks that are in financial constraints because they know that folks can't afford to go to a doctor. So here's a simple solution. Take this pill and it's gonna solve the thing. But again, I think we need to dig a little deeper and see if there's anything that we can do that's within our control that is going to be a lifelong habit that can help to reduce the symptoms or the issue that you're having. So lastly, if you are looking to buy a new supplement or switch a supplement or just kind of thinking through the supplements that you're taking right now, the number one thing I would say is that look for third-party testing labels. Those are the supplements that have been run through a third-party testing for purity and contaminants. NSF, USP, and Informed Choice are generally the ones to look out for, and you can even go on those specific labels websites and see which supplements or supplement brands have passed the test. Also look at allergen warnings and the ingredient list and check to see if you're taking any medications that it may interact with one of those ingredients. Usually it's a simple Google search, but if you're not able to discern and figure out what it is, if reaching out to, again, a physician or a pharmacist can be helpful to figure out if these supplements, these medications can be taken together. And if you want to be really extra cautious, you can also email or call the supplement company and ask for an analysis report of what is actually in their products. And something that I do with the supplements that I take, they've all been vetted through my doctor. I've talked to my doctor about all of them. Is it okay to take for me? I heavily scrutinize where they're coming from and what's in them, because I have a sensitive gut and I don't want to waste money on a thing that's not going to do anything for me. So I frequently would, before I landed on what I'm taking now, and it's very, very few short list of supplements. I have done experiments on all of those of taking them for weeks or months and then discontinuing for weeks or months and see if I notice a difference. So the ones that I'm taking now, those are the ones that I actually see the benefit from. They're safe, they align with my goals, they are third-party tested, and I feel like they're the cherry on top. They're like the 1% that make me feel better. We gotta address the lifestyle habits, and supplements can go in line with that. But again, knowing how to supplement, how much to supplement is really important, and that takes some discernment. Anyway, that is the end of my supplement rant. My hope is that I got you to be de-influenced to buy another supplement. In general, my hope is that you just rethink what you're currently taking and why you're taking it, and maybe run that experiment of not taking it and see if it actually does anything. And if you're somebody that's easily persuaded to try out the latest and greatest trending supplement, run through the list of questions that I mentioned in the video. I will add them to the description and see if that makes a difference in your decision. And I'd love to hear in the comments if you've ever been swindled or persuaded to buy a supplement from somebody online, like influenced to take a supplement. Was it a waste of money, or was it actually worth it and it's made a huge difference for you? Make healthy choices, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!